Hello. I'm really excited and delighted that we are about to go back to shul for the very first Shabbos in 16 weeks. But I recognise that not everyone is going to be able to get to shul for a while. So while I am looking forward to seeing everyone in due course, I thought I'd say a short Dvar Torah and record it for those who are not able to get to shul. One of my very favourite passages in the whole Torah appears in Parshas Pinchas, this week's reading. It's about the moment when Moshe realises that following the episode of striking the rock last week, he isn't going to be able to enter the land, and he has to resign himself to preparing for the succession. It's a short passage, and it describes how God suggests some values that the new leader will have to exemplify, and how Moshe is to select the leader. And here are the stipulations. It must be someone who will go out before them, someone who will come in before them, someone who will take them out, someone who will bring them in, so that the congregation of the Lord will not be like a flock without a shepherd. It's a very, very beautiful phrase. They need someone at the helm who can go out before them and come in before them. What does that mean? And aren't they just repeated phrases? So the commentaries, of course, explore these phrases and they identify. One is going out is about war, and coming in is about internal politics. And what the text appears to be saying is the leader is someone who's going to make decisions at the helm about when the right time is to go out and when the right time is to focus internally, and bring the people with him on that journey, whether it's to go out or to stay in. Because without that, they will be a community that's like a flock without a shepherd. So what is described here are two things. One is looking at the outside. We might not think of war, but the question to what extent the leader will be an exemplar of the community outside, represent the community, bring the community with him, or in modern context, her, bring the community with the leader on their journey to outside, meaning in their dealings with the outside world. But the leader also has to be expert at statecraft, how to be able to lead and fight internal and external battles, to promote, create values, but also to know when those values should be negotiated with those outside. Why is Joshua chosen? Well, the text says he is Ish Asher Ruach Boy, a man in whom there is spirit. And while Onkelos, the ancient Aramaic translation, says that means a man of prophecy, he's going to be a spiritual leader, Rashi takes a more prosaic view. Ruach Boy means, reflecting the language earlier in the passage, a leader who can get to know everyone, who can understand the needs of each one and doesn't take a high-handed, distant approach. In my responsibilities helping to recruit rabbis, we always note that someone who's accessible, who attempts to create a relationship with every individual, is likely to be more successful than someone who treats people as a flock, as the earlier text says. And finally, the bit that I like best of all, God says to Moshe, you have to put your hand on Joshua. Place your hand upon him. Hand is singular. And that's the original smicha, as it were, laying on of hands, as it's called elsewhere. But when Moshe comes to do this, the verse says, Vayismoich es yodov olov. He rested both hands. And the commentaries note the change from one hand to two. The shift from just about managing to appoint a successor he hoped would not be necessary, to invest in Yeshua with everything with a great spirit of generosity. And so this passage, and there's much more to mine from it, talks about leaders being able to look at the boundary between inside and outside, represent their communities, but also run them internally, to be able to relate to individuals and to be invested with a great spirit of generosity. Good Shabbos and Sei gesund und stark.